Yes! Good fish on. Yeah. I have a feeling this one's gonna be a coho. I was just thinking about switching gears again, but the spinner is a winner. They're coming right at me. Try to keep it off log jams and whatnot. Yeah, that's a coho. Get over here. Is that a steelhead or a coho? It might be a SHAMINO. Got him. Got him. Hot dog. Looks like a hen too. There he is. First coho of the season. Got it on the pink and black chrome blade steelhead Salmon. Nice little girl, decent fighter, not too crazy, but not bad at all. Fish on. Nice. Nice. Oh. I like fighting on a pin when it's raining and wet, because it's easier to loosen that drag real quick. Slides a little bit. Ooh, it's a fighter. Over this way to where my net is. Swim upstream. Come right at me. Come right at me. Make it easy on me. Okay, getting close to my net now. Start running harder. No, you don't need to go upriver. That was the old game. It's a catfish, dang it. Ah, that's funny. Didn't seem very energetic like a salmon. In the net, dude. There we go. Well, that was my first channel cat on a center pin. Awesome. I'll take that. Make that Skein. There you go. Alright. See you later, broken kitty. So I'm fishing with Skein today. So when I fish with Skein, I do an egg loop knot. I just want to show you guys real quick to give you a general idea of how it works anyway. I know it'll be a little hard to see, but you start by putting the line through the eyelet and running it parallel with the shank, and then you just pinch and hold there, and then I wrap the line 8 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I hold on to that piece so that none of that comes unraveled, and then I take the other end of my leader, which is about 2.5 feet at this moment because of the spot I'm fishing. Then I go through the opposite direction that I went through before, and I don't pull that through yet. I'm going to eventually. I just leave that sticking out, and I want that line that I just stuck through there to go parallel with the shank of the hook again. And then I'm going to continue wrapping with both pieces of line on there now. 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually do 5. 8 and 5 for the twists. Then you just pull this through. Often it's kind of hard to grab onto, so I usually just grab it with my teeth and then pull enough through to where I can grab it. And then you kind of want to avoid having it cinch up like that as much as you can, so you don't add abrasion to the line. And then at the last minute you just pull tight. And the whole trick really is keeping all those loops tight so that they don't come unraveled, because if they come unraveled you have to start over. So then I just have a little tag end sticking off. I usually leave that on there, but this one's a little longer than I normally leave it, so I'm going to trim that off. So that's the egg loop knot. So once you're tied, you can push this loop through, push the line back through the eyelet, and it creates a loop. And then I can put my Skein right there. Coho just jumped right upriver over here. So then I just put my bait in there, pull that back tight. And even if I'm not using Skein, I often use this knot when float fishing, because the line is coming perfectly through that eyelet up through the top, and with it wrapped around the shank, when your hook is dangling and you hook set, your hook is going to be coming right up and catching something. So a lot of times with a polymer knot, which is my other most common favorite knot to use, with a polymer knot, sometimes that hook might be sitting sideways because the knot might slide to one end or the other. So instead of having it sitting like that, it might be sitting like that when you set the hook, and then you pull it right out of the fish's mouth instead. So you get better hookups with the egg loop knot. So that's done. I have the other end here, and I just have to tie this onto my swivel on my bobber rig, and then I'm done. Okay, so now at the other end of this thing, what we got going on, I broke off on my last cast that I made, and this is kind of how it ended up. So I still have my barrel swivel, I still have all my split shot, I still have my bobber. It came undone from this little rubber thing, which I just fixed. So that's my whole rig. Now all I have to do is take that leader that I already tied up, cut off this last little bit of the knot here from the previous leader, and tie this up with the polymer knot. My main line here is 20 pounds and my leader is 12, so that's why I broke at the leader and not at the main line, which saves me from losing a bobber, all my split shot, and having to re-rig all of that mess. That's why I do it this way. So reverse polymer knot. I go through the eyelet and back through the opposite direction, creating a loop. You can just loop it ahead of time and stick the loop through if you want, whatever. Then you have a loop, and then your main line and your, not your main line, that leader line and your tag end. And then you create a loop with this dangling in the middle. And then you stick this loop that you originally made through the loop that you just made. And then you can cinch that down, but I don't cinch it all the way, just a little bit. And then I have to stick the tag end and this whole line with the hook tied on it through that hole that I just made. So through the hole, pull it through, try not to hook your finger, try not to hook on the line. Happens every time. Okay, now we're done, other than cinching up the knot. So if you made it too big and you want your leader to be longer, you can pull the leader end to tighten it, but I actually prefer to pull the tag end, or sometimes both. It just slides better that way. It's good to wet it first and do it really slowly and gently, especially if you're using fluorocarbon line, because it's going to fray your line a bit if there's too much friction. And that's why it's good to wet it. I didn't, because my mouth is dry and I didn't want to bend all the way over to the water. I was just taking a little break after breaking off, having a rest, some hydrating beverage. Okay, now I just cut my tag end off, and I'm left with my bobber rig and my leader. And now I just have to put Skein on. So push that through to make the loop open up. And I always do this before I grab my Skein, because it's just easier to get it undone when your hands aren't full and sticky. So I just kind of hold that open with my hand, and then I grab my Skein. Get that right here. So this isn't a perfect Skein. It's not very ball shaped, but that doesn't matter too much. Usually I'm trying to do a small ball, smaller than a ping pong ball. This one's a little on the small side. So what I can do is I can just kind of fold this in on itself and put it in that loop that I made, and then you just pull the hook until it's tight. And then I usually kind of do this just to cinch it, but I don't want to go like super tight, because if you really yank on it, you're gonna slice the whole thing up. It'll still hold together, but that's a pretty good little setup right there. That hook will end up coming up and pulling up the way it's positioned. And now I can try and catch that fish that just jumped right there. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Looks like I got a coho on the steelhead. Coming right at me. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Stay off the snags. Alright. Been fishing for hours for this fish. Oh, jumping coho. I can't see, the sun's in my eyes. Okay. There it is. This guy is great. This fish is awesome. That was a sweet jump. Oh, I almost fell in the river. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that. Oh. Coho on the steelheads, on the, what's it called? Steel shad. Right there. Right in the mouth. Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Alright. Here's my coho. Got her on the steel shad. One of my favorite lures. First salmon on a steel shad, but I knew it was going to happen before too long.